Have you ever found yourself cowering behind the couch, heart pounding, as the fictional nightmare unfolding on the screen seems all too real? Well, what if I told you that the scariest monster isn't a figment of a writer's imagination or a director's dark muse, but a reflection of humanity's darkest moments? Modern horror doesn't just entertain or thrill, it mirrors the anxieties that lurk in the shadows of our collective consciousness. But what are these fears, and how do they manifest themselves in the fictional worlds that both terrify and captivate us? Join me as we pull back the curtain and unveil the chilling real-life events that gave birth to the nightmares haunting our screens. From ancient myths to modern-day maladies, we'll explore how the deepest recesses of our minds have always found expression in the realm of horror. Before we begin, please hit that like button and subscribe for more such informative and entertaining videos. And without further ado, let's get started. Opening the gateway. Why we love to be scared. Let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. Why do we, as a society, revel in fear? Why do we willingly immerse ourselves in stories designed to terrify and disturb us? Perhaps it's the macabre fascination with the unknown that has always driven humanity to confront its deepest fears head-on. Or maybe it's the primal instinct to confront danger in a safe environment, to test our limits without risking our well-being. Whatever the reason, our fascination with the macabre is undeniable. But this inherent human trait has always ensured that our fears find expression in our art, our literature, our film, and most notably, our horror. What if I told you that the most horrifying villains in our favorite horror stories weren't just figments of an author's imagination or a filmmaker's dark muse, but rather chilling reflections of real-life anxieties that have plagued humanity throughout history? From the mythical beasts of ancient lore to the serial killers who stalked 20th-century city streets, the roots of our scariest nightmares often lie in the shadows of our waking lives. And as we delve deeper into the world of horror, we'll uncover the shocking real-life inspirations behind some of the most iconic and terrifying characters in cinematic history. You might be surprised at just how close the line between fiction and reality can be when it comes to the darkest depths of human imagination. The roots of fear, ancient anxieties to classic terrors. The earliest tales of horror often wove together elements of the natural world with human anxieties, creating monsters that were as fascinating as they were frightening. Werewolves, for example, were likely inspired by actual cases of lycanthropy, a condition characterized by an irresistible urge to bite or tear flesh. During the Middle Ages, when rabies was widespread, the symptoms of this disease, including hydrophobia, foaming at the mouth, and heightened aggression, led people to believe that those afflicted were literally transforming into wolves. This primal fear of a creature that could mimic human behavior while being driven by animalistic urges continues to resonate in modern tales of shapeshifters and doppelgangers. Similarly, vampires may have originated from an ancient fear of death and the macabre fascination with blood. In cultures where death rituals were not widely practiced or misunderstood, the sight of a loved one's bloated corpse, pale skin, and bloody gums could have easily fueled the belief that they were draining the life essence from the body, leading to tales of blood-sucking demons preying on the dead and the living alike. These ancient fears also manifested in classic Gothic horror, which emerged during the Industrial Revolution, a period marked by rapid urbanization, scientific advancement, and profound social change. In the sprawling, dimly lit cities of the Industrial Revolution, writers like Mary Shelley and Robert Louis Stevenson channeled the anxieties of a rapidly changing world into their stories. Frankenstein, Shelley's tale of a scientist who creates life only to be horrified by his creation, can be seen as a reflection of the social upheaval caused by industrialization. The novel explores the ethical boundaries of scientific progress and the dangers of unchecked ambition, themes that continue to resonate in today's world of genetic engineering and artificial intelligence. Similarly, Stevenson's strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde captures the duality of Victorian England, a society that valued order and respectability while grappling with the darker aspects of human nature that were increasingly coming to light. This exploration of repressed desires and the thin veneer of civilization separating us from primal chaos remains a potent theme in modern psychological thrillers. Beyond the anxieties of modernization, classic haunted house tales also tapped into the isolation and paranoia that can grip individuals in expanding anonymous cities. As families and communities were torn apart and people were thrust into close proximity with strangers, the fear of the other and the unknown seeped into our stories, manifesting in the form of malevolent ghosts and sinister neighbors. This theme finds modern expression in films like The Babadook, which uses the image of a creepy children's book character to represent the psychological toll of grief and isolation, true crime, true terror. The late 19th and early 20th centuries saw the rise of a new type of horror, one rooted in the dark realities of human behavior. As true crime gained popularity and newspapers sensationalized gruesome cases, a new breed of monster emerged in literature and film. Serial killers, once confined to the pages of dime novels, now stalked the silver screen, their ghastly deeds becoming the stuff of nightmares. One such killer whose influence on popular culture is undeniable is Ed Gein, a man whose crimes were so shocking they inspired some of the most iconic horror films of all time. Gein's disturbing acts, from necrophilia and cannibalism to the creation of disturbing artifacts from human skin, provided the blueprint for villains like Norman Bates in Psycho and Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. His story blurred the line between fiction and reality, leaving audiences to question the depths of human depravity. But the allure of true crime and horror didn't end with the exploits of serial killers. Sensational trial of Leopold and Loeb in the 1930s, two young men accused of a heinous crime, captivated the public's attention and inspired numerous film adaptations. Their chilling motives, driven by a lust for the ultimate crime, rather than any tangible benefit, introduced a new kind of monster onto the scene, the philosophical criminal who operated not out of necessity or desperation, but purely out of a desire to test their own limits and challenge societal norms. This fascination with the psychology of crime also paved the way for a new subgenre of horror, psychological thrillers that peeled back the layers of the human mind to explore the darkness that lay within. Films like The Silence of the Lambs brought the terrifying world of serial killers and criminal profiling to the forefront of popular culture, blurring the lines between good and evil and leaving audiences questioning the sanity of those they encountered on screen. These stories reflected a society grappling with the complexities of human behavior, seeking to understand the motivations and thought processes of those who committed the most heinous crimes. Indeed, as we entered the 20th century, our understanding of human behavior began to shift. The rise of psychology as a field of study allowed us to peer into the darkest recesses of the human mind, exploring the motivations and thought processes of those who had been labeled insane or evil. The concept of the psychopath, once relegated to the realms of fiction, became a real-life diagnosis, shedding light on the chilling reality that some individuals could plan and execute their actions with cold, calculated precision without remorse or empathy. This newfound knowledge not only revolutionized the field of criminology, but also seeped into our horror stories, giving birth to a new breed of terrifying characters. In a world where the enemy could be anyone, even those closest to us, fear turned inward, manifesting in characters like Hannibal Lecter, a cultured, articulate serial killer who preyed on the vulnerabilities of those around him. His chilling presence and manipulative charm forced us to confront the unsettling truth that evil could lurk beneath the most polished exterior. Moreover, the exploration of repressed desires and hidden identities found expression in tales like those of Dennis Nilsen and Jeffrey Dahmer, whose crimes exposed the dark underbelly of seemingly ordinary lives. Their stories shattered the illusion of safety and normalcy, revealing the chilling potential that existed within the hearts of men who appeared to be just like us. These real-life horrors not only served as inspiration for countless fictional narratives, but also played a crucial role in shaping the way we perceived the world around us. They forced us to confront the unsettling reality that evil could exist in the most unexpected places, leaving us forever changed by the chilling knowledge that no matter how secure our lives may seem, there will always be lurking shadows. Modern horrors, reflecting our current nightmares. As we venture further into the digital age, our fears have evolved alongside the complexities of our modern world. The internet, once a tool for connection, has also become a breeding ground for anonymity and deception. Social media, with its promise of community, has inadvertently fostered a culture of comparison and superficial relationships. These shifts in our collective psyche have found expression in the realm of horror, giving rise to a new breed of nightmares that mirror our current anxieties. Films like Unfriended and Host, which utilize the found footage technique and revolve around the use of technology, tap into our growing unease with the digital world. These stories remind us that the same technology that connects us can also isolate us, that the anonymity of the internet can embolden the worst aspects of human behavior. Climate change, an issue that threatens the very fabric of our existence, has also permeated the world of horror. Shows like The Last of Us bring the terrifying prospect of a post-apocalyptic world to the screen, forcing us to confront the consequences of our actions and the fragility of our civilization. Furthermore, societal anxieties about economic disparity and political unrest have found expression in tales like Squid Game, which pits desperate individuals against each other in a battle of wits and survival. Such stories reflect our own fears of a world driven by ruthless competition and the lengths to which people might go to protect themselves and their loved ones in a rapidly changing world. Moreover, our fascination with the grotesque and macabre has also taken on a new dimension. With shows like American Horror Story and streaming platforms providing endless avenues for exploration, we've become accustomed to a steady diet of blood, guts, and supernatural scares. This appetite for the extreme has been satiated by films like Hereditary and Get Out, which dive deep into the darkest recesses of the human psyche, exploring themes of inherited trauma and the occult, the unending cycle. Why horror endures. Our enduring fascination with horror reveals a fundamental aspect of the human condition, our innate desire to confront our fears head-on. Horror, in its various forms, allows us to explore the darkest corners of our imagination and confront the things that go bump in the night in a safe environment. By immersing ourselves in these terrifying tales, we gain a sense of control over our fears, realizing that even in the face of danger and uncertainty, we have the power to overcome and survive. Moreover, horror serves as a powerful cathartic release, allowing us to process real-world anxieties and traumas through the lens of fiction. When faced with the horrors of our own world, we often seek solace in stories that provide a sense of closure or resolution, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, hope and resilience can prevail. Furthermore, horror's predictive power cannot be overlooked. Throughout history, tales of haunted houses and supernatural encounters have often foreshadowed real-world events or scientific discoveries that were yet to come. The eerie accuracy of some of these predictions adds a layer of intrigue and realism to the genre, leaving us to wonder whether our greatest fears might hold a grain of truth. In conclusion, the world of horror, far from being a mere escape into fantasy, is a reflection of our deepest anxieties and fears. As we continue to navigate the complexities of the modern world, our nightmares will undoubtedly evolve, finding new life in the realms of literature and film. So the next time you find yourself cowering behind the couch, consider that the scariest monsters may not be figments of our imagination, but chilling echoes of our own reality. Now it's your turn. Which real-life inspired horror movies do you love? And why? And what current events or fears do you think will be reflected in the horror of tomorrow? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay safe and keep an eye out for the monsters lurking in the shadows.